Shabbat Shalom, everyone. What a week we had at B'nai Torah. We dealt with some very serious issues that take place in the world. We heard from the leadership, or some leadership from the IFA, that organization that has mounted the legal fight against white supremacists, and we've seen the great progress that they've done. And that's all in today's world. And then we went to Purim, where we retreated back to yesterday's world and felt these deep connections between the story and the dangers that face us, that face the world, and certainly we see facing Ukraine with its modern day Haman. This Shabbat, we turn to the Torah Parsha. We're reading Parshat Tzav and seems so far removed from our lives, as there are descriptions of the sacrifices which were brought to the temple and aspects of the creation of the first tabernacle. And I want to tell you that one of the ways that we have some perspective and that we build meaning is by looking at the past and how the past commands us, or how the past informs us, and then taking those lessons into the present. So over the course of Purim, we were working really hard to collect money to help refugees who are leaving Ukraine, those who are fortunate to leave Ukraine. And so something very old inspired us to take part in something very new. The Torah reading, which talks about sacrifice, needs a second look, a third look. We have to continually try to understand, because we're certainly not in that world, and certainly do not think about our religious tradition as being one that anymore has us sacrificing animals. But I want you to think about this, and I want you to think about sacrifice in terms of our own behavior. Not in terms of giving up, but in terms of the notion of sacrifice being a vehicle to bring us closer. And the sacrifices that were brought by ancient people were not brought, again, to give up, but rather to give to. They were to give to the temple, give to the priest, give to God. I did a wedding last Saturday night, a really beautiful wedding with a family that's very dear to me here at B'nai Torah. And I spoke about sacrifice in relationship. And there are different ways of looking at that. But if we look at sacrifice as a way of giving to, and giving of ourselves to help enrich a relationship, to create a sense of love, then it has a very different meaning. I think when we face difficult times like we are now, gas prices are rising, and there's a horrible challenge with inflation, and not to mention the really essential challenges of war and bloodshed and death and refugees and all of that, we have to understand that we're going to be called upon to sacrifice in one way or another. And let us view our sacrifices as a way of giving to a cause, be it the cause of freedom or the cause of human life. It's so important. And so when we give, let us give with love. And in that way, we spread love and we create meaning in the world. Shabbat Shalom. I look forward to seeing you in Shul over the weekend.